So in this module, we're going to do hypothesis testing for simple and multiple regression. So we're going to start off, let's give a brief overview of the module, I guess. Overview of the module. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to review the steps to hypothesis testing. So this is something you're probably familiar with already from your past statistics courses, but let's just review so we kind of understand what all the steps are. Then we're going to talk about the assumptions we're going to be making. So we've already made 5 assumptions in terms of our multiple regression framework. 4 gave us unbiasedness. That 5th one allowed us to kind of calculate the variance, or a cleaner version of the variance if we assumed homoscedasticity. We're going to add one more assumption about the error term here, which we'll be able to relax next module when we cover asymptotics. The third thing we're going to do is we're going to look at single restrictions, so hypothesis testing with single restrictions, so just one beta and one equal sign. So for example, beta 1 equals 0. Then we're going to cover a single linear combination of restrictions. So what I mean by that is, so this would be, sorry, we should say that's the null hypothesis that I'm saying. And HO, the null hypothesis here, and we'll talk about in part of the steps, this is part of the steps, is saying the null hypothesis. Here, we might have something like beta 1 plus beta 2 equals 0 or 1 or something like that. So we're going to learn how to test for these hypotheses with just a t-test. And finally, we'll do multiple restrictions. So this is when you might have an HO where beta 1 equals 0 and beta 2 equals 0 or something, or 1 or whatever. So this is kind of what we're going to cover this module. We're going to start off with these steps, briefly talk about this additional assumption we need to make about the error term, and then we'll kind of get into the nuts and bolts of this module with kind of going through hypothesis testing in these different scenarios.